Hi, Justin. My name is Ariella Kageruka, head of the Department of Tourism and Conservation at the Rwanda Development Board.
Ariella, listen, thank you so much for giving Breaking Travel News some time here in Kigali, Rwanda at the WTTC Summit. We've just closed. I'd love you to give me some of your reflections.
Thank you, Justin. I think, first of all, we're very grateful for being chosen as the destination for the first ever African edition of the WTTC Global Summit. We're grateful to the WTTC leadership, to the WTTC members, and of course to the industry leaders that came from all over the world to attend the WTTC. And that also explains why the summit was full of insightful discussions of connections and engagements and discovery. Most importantly, Rwanda was, I would say, discovered by many of the delegates, not because they didn't know much about Rwanda at all, of its existence, but rather what we are as a country, or who we are as a country, and what we have to offer. And that means a lot to the destination that we are as a tourism destination, but also as a destination and a country that is open for tourism, for investment.
And a lot of people have been talking about how you're, I suppose, in a sense, creating a new benchmark, a new playbook for how to build a leading destination in the world. Tell me kind of some of the secrets to your success. How have you adopted that sort of strategy?
I would say that, first of all, maybe going back a little bit to hosting the WTTC Global Summit, as our President Paul Kagame, His Excellency Paul Kagame said, this summit, hosting this summit as a country is not only for Rwanda, it was also for Africa. So this strategy for Rwanda to open arms for Africans to, connect with each other, work with each other, and also opening ourselves to the world, to engage as a destination. I'm talking about Africa, that has so much to offer, yet so much that is still untapped as in terms of opportunities. The WTTC CEO also really said it very well, that there is so much to do in Africa and so many investment opportunities. So this is the message that we've carried throughout the summit, both RDB, Government of Rwanda, and WTTC. And that also speaks to our strategy as a country to engage with others. As Rwanda, we chose that we were going to be open to everybody, and that comes also from our name, Rwanda, which comes from a verb that means expanding. So this spirit of expanding has carried us throughout our policies, our progressive policies, to create value, to create opportunities for Rwanda, for Rwandans, Africans, and the world. So in a nutshell, that's what I would say. But the vision for growing tourism also comes from that spirit of opening ourselves to the world, and being able to create value from using sustainably our resources, creating value for people that are should be using these resources by creating mechanisms through which revenues from the sustainable use of these resources are shared, and also value for nature. Most importantly, when you are successful in tourism, you must always have the discipline of managing supply and demand. Our assets are completely mostly based on ecological resources, and the ability or this discipline to be able to manage the supply and demand so that there's no trade-off. There's rather community and conservation-led tourism. And this is mostly for our leisure tourism, our ecotourism. But when it comes to our development of tourism, looks at also the MICE tourism, and that's how we also bid to receive the global summit of the WTTC in Rwanda. And it comes with the strategy to develop the MICE industry for the past years, creating the infrastructure, having open visa policy. You've heard of the progressive policies that Rwanda has put in place to open up not only to Africa, to the world with visa-free regimes for some of the regions, but also providing visa on arrival for everybody. This strategy comes from that spirit of opening ourselves to the world and being able to engage and be valuable to one another.
And obviously another key component of that success is the human capital side of things, and we are operating in a service-based industry here. Tell me a little bit about how you're thinking about sort of combining that nature and natural sort of side of capital and resources with your human resources.
Tourism creates opportunities for jobs, job creation in Rwanda, but also globally. When you look at tourism jobs that are created in Rwanda, at least 8 jobs out of 100 off-farm jobs are created by tourism. This is an incredible source of opportunity for the Rwandan people, and this really cross-cuts across the different subsectors of the industry. We're talking about the hospitality industry, we're talking about AV, audiovisual, we're talking about the conference organizers, we're talking about the porter that helps the tourists, to carry their belongings or their cameras or their things when they are trekking the mountain gorillas or visiting any other part. That's the value that tourism brings, and it comes from all levels of jobs, and that's what makes tourism important, and we value that, and we've seen that growing this sector is important for not only creating those jobs, but also making sure that there's sustainable development across the board.
Ariella, listen, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on what has been an incredible summit, and we wish you every continued success.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you for coming to Rwanda, and I hope you take time to explore the country.